Ohio school shooter TJ Lane is now back in custody, believe it or not, after escaping from prison last night. He's now 19 years old, and that young man on your screen is serving 3 life terms, consecutive life terms, for the 2012 shooting at Chardon High School that killed 3 classmates. He was captured not far from the prison. He'd only been out for about 6 hours. They searched for that whole 6 hours. One of the 2 prisoners that he escaped with is still at large, however. So how was this unremorseful killer able to slip out of prison? You remember that this was the same kid who wore a T-shirt on which he had scribbled "killer." He did that at his sentencing, but you notice how he came in with the button down and then just took the button down off, apparently surprising even his own attorney. Joining me to talk about how our country incarcerates juveniles is Judge Alex Ferrer, the former host of Judge Alex and former Florida Circuit Court judge. First and foremost, before I even get to the juvenile aspect, how on earth does a kid with 3 life sentences, or an adult with 3 life consecutive sentences, get to a point where he could actually scale a wall and escape?
Doesn't really engender a lot of faith in our correctional institution, does it?
Not at all.
You know, we don't know. I mean, obviously, we don't know yet how he escaped this facility. It's not a maximum security facility, and the Department of Corrections typically has a lot of leeway in determining where they're going to house inmates. What I'm not really sure about is why would you ever put somebody who is serving 3 consecutive life sentences, which is the highest level you're going to ever get, short of the death penalty.
Short of death row.
Right. Into anything other than a maximum security facility.
So what's strange here is that if you look at the Allen Oakwood Correctional Institution where he was being housed, and now presumably still is being housed now that he's been caught, there, according to the Cleveland Plain Dealer, there are 5 levels of security. Minimum, medium, close, which apparently he was in, maximum, and administrative maximum. So they've got a capacity to put maximum security prisoners, but apparently there's only 4. There's only 4 people who qualify, and he, according to the Plain Dealer, wasn't one of them. How does that work?
I don't understand how he wouldn't qualify for maximum security. I mean, when you're typically it's based on the crime you've committed, the sentence you're facing, because obviously if you're in there for life in prison, you have no incentive to do anything but try to escape because you're never going to get out on parole. So why he wouldn't be in maximum security? Administrative maximum is typically for people who have violated the rules inside or otherwise.
So it's punishment for the bad guys inside prison already.
A larger danger. That typically, it may vary from state to state, but that's typically what it's used for. But maximum security would seem like the appropriate designation for him, not close.
So let me ask you this. If you saw this in your courtroom as you were about to hand down sentencing, would that make a difference, watching a smiling kid who's now 17 years old? He was first charged as a juvenile, but he ultimately was adjudicated as an adult, and he's now an adult.
Yes.
But you see killer on a T-shirt, and you see a smiling kid who's basically flouting the entire system. Does that change what you say and how you hand down sentencing?
Absolutely. Absolutely. That may very well be why he got 3 consecutive instead of 3 concurrent life sentences. Absolutely.
It can be spur of the moment decision.
Just like that, a judge is looking at him and saying, this guy has been convicted of killing those 3 students, and he shows not only 0 remorse, he mocks the system. Why would I ever want to give him an opportunity to get back out and kill more people?
Gleeful.
Exactly. And you see defendants do this all the time, by the way. They come into their sentencing, and it doesn't dawn on them that the judge hasn't pronounced sentence yet.
Right.
And they misbehave, they act out, or they say stupid things.
They flip the bird.
It can totally change.
Real quickly, is anything going to happen now? I mean, clearly he's got to be adjudicated in some way for the escape,
Sure,
but will it make any difference?
No. They'll charge him with escape. He'll be convicted of escape, and it'll be additional years onto 3 life sentences, which is meaningless. Which is why guys like him should be in maximum security. They have nothing to lose.
Perhaps now they will move him into level 4.
Perhaps.
Always good to see you, Judge.
I wouldn't hold my breath.
Thank you for coming. I appreciate seeing you. Thank you for that.